If you travel north in Saskatchewan until the roads are no longer paved, you can find a hidden paradise. A wild, untouched land, maybe one of the last. I used to dream of places like this growing up, the ultimate getaway. Free of electronics, distraction, crowded cityscapes. In my experience, a person can only take so much of the city before it starts to melt your brain. This is a place I can recharge, disconnect, and find me again. The only question is, how am I going to ride my motorcycle up here? Hey guys, it's Jay. Welcome back to Riding in Search of Enlightenment. I swear I started the day with the best intentions. As you can see, picked up a new camera, had it mounted on the bars, looking for that new angle on a ride, and I guess the dark clouds that you'll see off in the horizon here shortly were a little bit of foreshadowing for not only a storm, but some other mishaps that happen along the way. I'm heading for a ride with 5 of my close friends. There's going to be some Indian baggers out today, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. They're absolutely stunning bikes and they sound amazing, so I got some decent audio footage in today's vlog. Rain or shine, I'm out the bike, so when we saw clouds, none of us really backed down. We were just into it and decided to go straight into the storm. Sometimes you got to pay to play here in Saskatchewan. The weather changes really quickly. And when you have a nice day when the sun's out, regardless of if there's clouds on the horizon, you just have to go and do it. I've stated in videos before that we have a fairly short riding season here in Saskatchewan, just in Canada in general. We only get, maybe 4 or 5 months where we get really good riding weather and can get out and enjoy this. So it's really important, even if we do get kind of these days where they might be a little bit windy, they might be a little bit overcast, or there might be some storms off in the horizon or supposed to hit later that day. You know what, you just got to jump on it. You just got to get out there and have those experiences, because that's what the adventure is. That's what motorcycling is about. Our skin's waterproof anyway, right? Anyways, enjoy. Actually, as we're riding out, I wanted to talk about a couple of specific things on today's vlog, and one of those was, I was just kind of brainstorming the other day, and I really like skateboarding. I grew up skateboarding and continue to skateboard now. I'm teaching my 6-year-old how to skateboard at the moment, and so I kind of was wondering, I see a lot of other guys that grew up riding skateboards and now are really into motorcycles and have become motorcycle enthusiasts, and I was wondering if there was any correlation between the two. And thinking about it, I'd say so. We're both of us are on an everlasting search for the perfect line. If you're riding on a motorcycle, you're always looking ahead, finding that perfect line. If you're if you really enjoy your riding, like regardless of whether you're cruising on the highway or you're on a dirt bike or anything like that, you're always looking for that perfect ride. And if you're on a skateboard, you're always looking ahead, and you're trying to use creativity in the way that you ride in order to kind of influence that perfect line or that perfect ride. Another thing that I thought about, is flow state. When you're riding your motorcycle, just like the vibration of the bike, especially when you get up into those high speeds, in a group doing 120, 140 in top gear, vibration out of the bike and the vibration in your body, it's something else. It puts you into kind of a meditative state, and I find that you get some of that out of skateboarding as well. Like your wheels on the concrete or on the asphalt, as you're pushing away, you get a lot of the vibration out of the board, and you get a lot of vibration out of the ride, and I find it almost puts me in that meditative state as well. You're only thinking about exactly what you're doing in that moment. Another thing that I thought of is that both skateboarding and riding motorcycles is really huge on freedom and freedom of expression. There usually isn't two board setups that are the same, and motorcycles are the same way too. It's entirely customizable, and a lot of expression as to who the rider is, comes out in what they're riding or the style of how they're riding either their motorcycle or their skateboard. I guess something else that I've kind of realized, because when I was growing up skateboarding, I never had the best stuff. I didn't have a ton of money in order to pour into the sport, so it would be like hand-me-down things, or I'd have cheaper skateboards that I'd really work on in order to try to make them better. When I did get a little bit of money, I started to get pretty basic decks, blanks, and stuff like that, just because they were a little bit cheaper. But it's kind of the same way with motorcycles for me. There's a lot of enthusiasts that, in order to get introduced into the motorcycle game, there isn't a lot of people that have $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to put into a motorcycle. And so purchasing a cheaper motorcycle and then slowly putting work into it, putting a lot of sweat into it, and creating something that is beautiful, functional, that does everything that you want it to, and for a price bracket that's a lot more affordable. So you'll see a lot more guys picking up used bikes, similar to how I picked up my Suzuki Boulevard, or how I picked up my Harley Davidson, my Dyna that I ride right now. I got it for a lot cheaper than a new bike, and then just gave it some love, and in the process you learn so much more about the machine. And I think that similarly, that's how I got into skateboarding. It was hand-me-down fish boards. I started skateboarding at an incredibly young age. I'll throw some pictures up here, but it was like the most freeing thing for me. It was one of those things that was just for me. I never really was into group sports growing up. I did like baseball and things like that, but it wasn't my bread and butter. Most of the time I liked to be by myself, either riding my skateboard or drawing or doing art, things like that. And then now as an adult, it's the same. When I have time with friends, that's cool. And when I go for rides, largely I'll go for rides by myself because it's more meditative. It gives me time to think. And then these group rides have been fantastic too. But it's something that's for me. The motorcycle's for me. The experience is for me. And I don't know. I just thought that it was kind of cool that a counterculture like skateboarding runs so parallel to motorcycling. And I just think that they run hand in hand. So just food for thought, I guess. But yeah, enjoy the ride, you guys. Some fantastic footage here. Really enjoy riding with these guys, and I'm excited to get some more footage of rides in the future. Thanks. Hope you guys have a great week, and ride safe out there.